Okay. Hello. This is Kristina, your host today. It's New Year, finally, 2025. We're a little bit older. And today I have my special guest. It's new episode of KSM Podcast, Green Business Online, by the way, to say that, just don't forget it. And my special guest today is Lady Athena Todd. Athena, welcome to the new episode of KSM Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It is New Year, the new day, the new
Yeah.
technology.
Everything is new. New people, 2025.
That's right.
It's almost January, it's lovely. So you're I know we are so in two parts of the world. I'm in Europe, in Serbia, you're in US, Eastern Pacific time. And tell us a little bit about you. Introduce yourself and we will go with our conversation today, interview.
Sure. Of course. So I'm Athena. I'm of course originally from Taiwan. I've been in US for the past 27 years now. So, you know, I had been getting involved. I mean, I would say back in 2003, I already started getting involved with the kind of like a media, multimedia was part of my degree. So 30 years after, realized that with the AI technology, are getting involved is technically are relearning. Well, and I would say the upgrade version of my degree 30 years ago. So, so now I'm been helping the coaches and course creator and solopreneurs and mostly the small business owners is to help them streamline their operations and also help them streamline their personal brand. And then because this is kind of where people are looking for the time to be more efficient. So this is kind of where the business are really heading, especially in 2025. How do we save time and cut costs? And so this is kind of where I come in to helping with the businesses, since that has been my most of my career life has been my expertise in sales, marketing, and operations. Now we just have AI to make it even easier for us to get this done.
Oh, congratulations, Athena, because you have such a long career in marketing, in operations, in whatever you mentioned here. And how new technology, um, how new technology changed your life? How new technology, let's say AI, and how did you choose? How did you choose uh, to start just in that way, just to have more interest in terms of AI and help people.
Sure. I would say a lot of time, at least from the beginning, most of people, when they are heard about AI, a lot of people, you just knew, you just kind of play around with the tools. And that's kind of pretty much where everybody started. Just like we're kids, when we're learning something new, we have new toys, we just pick it up and play, right? So this is kind of how I see it, even though we're adult now. And then it's a very similar pattern that we do as a child. So we pick up the new tool, we look at it, we play around with it, and then we start to think about how can we use this to implement in what we're doing on a daily basis. So that's kind of how everything started for us, really, is when we actually have been coaching, the coaches and consultants and course creator. I think even back in before COVID started, and then we just started to get a little bit more because everything is all online. Everybody, just all stay at home. Nobody can go anywhere. So this is a time when we really diving into the online marketing part. So we actually have been helping the coaches and, doing marketing online and through I wouldn't say traditional method, but at the time, even though we're doing things online, but they're more of a traditional way in a sense. And then I think it's until like 2023 when we started realize AI started getting involved because we start hearing more. And at that time was just hearing about, oh, just chat GPT, right? And then we just started to the more we're diving into it, and that's when we realized, oh, this is something big is coming. So we realized this is something we need to dive in even deeper. So that's why we went to like full immersion in learning. We learned from the top from Tony Robbins, his AI initiative team. We learn from the best. So because we know where we're heading, we have to be prepared. And no one, not even the full-blown AI consultant firm like ourselves, we're still considered small, that can do everything ourselves. Because now even within our AI consulting team, we are partnered with other AI consultants. Like I'm about to get certified myself, so because we want to create that certainty for the businesses, because this is a very unknown area for a lot of businesses. People, so only like 2% of businesses are able to implement fully from A to Z. I mean, of course, we all can play tools and all that, but for the most part, the businesses really is where how we help them is really look at, what is causing them the most frustration and where is the time sucking daily mundane task. And that's where we usually tackle, because a lot of time people don't really want to hear, what can work for them until you tell them you can take away that particular problem that caused them the most pain. Imagine to have a toothache 24/7, nonstop. Wouldn't that drive you crazy, right? So this is usually kind of where we want to give people the opportunity to choose where they want to work first. But of course, we have found the most effective way to help business owners are finding the part, the lowest hanging fruit, whatever can give them the most result, have the lowest impact in their system, because we don't want to shake their business operation, because well, eventually, potentially, but we don't usually go there first. We usually started with, okay, how most people, that's why we usually go in with the marketing and sales division, because marketing is an oxygen of all business. So, people will never complain. You can improve their marketing and sales, right? Yeah, you can help us drive more sales, save us costs, and save us time. Why not, right? So this is kind of the lowest impact to their company's operation. So usually we find this is the area people will want to explore this particular AI solution first. And this is the soon as they see increase their profit and then increase their productivity, then that's when they would be more open to say, okay, can you also help this part of the department, our recruiting department, whatever the team need to get trained, admin department, that's kind of how we usually go in when we go into the organization. We always started with whatever can give them the best result, have the highest impact in their organization. So because we know it's still kind of new, people are starting from like, I don't want to be terminated by AI, what about this human touch? Even with personal branding, that's kind of one of the angle we go in. People are just afraid is going to lose that human touch or it's going to hurt the brand image if they're using the AI too much. That's why whenever we are approaching with AI, I'm always letting people know my angle, my approach of an AI business is consulting business. I want human to be in the loop. Human has to be the foundation. Human brain has to be the one that lay the foundation. What is already working in the organization, and then we using the AI tool to help them optimize, and that's it. We're not completely using, so okay, here's the AI tool, let's just wipe out your whole organization. That's not our approach. We know that some people probably do that, but that's just not our approach.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing this, because I think that we can use AI and GPT and whatever. We need to include our brain. We need to, as a human, it's going to be like for myself, how I resonate with that is that you can use it as a tool to help you to move you forward, but you need to know how to use it. So, Athena, can you share with us about branding? I know that you have something for coaches and maybe just like just to share with us, maybe for newcomers, for our listeners who will be in a position to hear maybe for the first time about that, because
of course
it's such a new movement. It's such a new AI. There are people who maybe they're afraid of it, just there are different approaches to that. But we wanted to be here to help them to know how to use it in the best way to help themselves to build their business and grow.
Exactly. I always like to use analogy of what people are already using in daily and everyday life. It's just like the knife. We can use the knife to chop the meat, cut the vegetables, and then to serve us meal. Or the knife can use it for the bag weight, right? So it's all about, just like you said, how do you properly use the AI tools to help you to make your life better? So just like I said earlier, same thing with the foundation for the branding. We always have to start with the framework. So the framework for us when we are helping the coaches, course creator, or consultant, they're building the framework, especially on the personal branding side is the first part, we always helping them with creating their brand identity. What are they in the field that have established authority? And then how would they differentiate themselves from other competitors? So that we will be crafting that particular area. And this is kind of like a step one for helping them building their personal brand to know their identity. And the step two is we will be helping them craft their brand story. And then we will be also sharing their about 5 credibility boosting stories actually are enhancing their personal brand on their personal story. So that is step 2, right? Because people love hearing story. And matter of fact, there's like 78% of consumers are actually able to resonating with the brand when that's tied into a story. So that's the reason why the story are becoming so important in this part of the personal branding process. So now you got the identity, you know the story, and the third part is we got to put the design into the place to supporting the identity and the story. And that's kind of how we can translate that into the graphic. So as we know, we're human, we have 5 senses. So one of this visual, right? Visual, and they can hear things. So people are stimulating nowadays, especially through the video, like what we're doing right now. They are observing every part of you, including my hand movement I'm doing right now. This is all being calculated, right? So this is kind of how people are reading, experiencing my brand based on how I move, how I talk, if I smile, all those kind of things, and how that turn into the graphic or video. And this is how people get to experience our brand through the images and video, and of course, combined with the copy that we talked about earlier. And then with that as a framework, as a base, then we can talk about how we market. So now using the AI tool to help you market will be so much easier, but not because we got the foundation, right? We're talking about the branding foundation with those 3 core elements. And then when we're talking about marketing, this is where AI can really help out on, chatbot, so kind of help people to experience the person's brand on the, at scale. That's why, especially for 2025, we will start seeing a lot of conversational AI and the chatbot. So the conversational AI is AI agent, kind of like a customer service on AI level, and they were having a conversation that we could actually carry in a conversation like this because they've been trained a certain way to can carry almost like a human-like conversation. So this is kind of how people want to experience moving forward. They want to be hyper personalized, experiencing you as scale. In the past, there's no freaking way anybody can do that, right? Because we're human, we only got 24/7, and then there's only so much time in the day to do certain things. But how can you possibly do it at scale? And this is exactly how people can utilize those conversation AI to be, the AI agent, the chatbots, and to create that personalized experience for supporting the brand when they're communicating with their audience.
And either they can communicate like operators, like by phone also, or in a format of written text.
Yes,
as a voice.
Yes, you can even create a massive produce, customized voicemail with your own voice, with a different name. And that is how personalized it can be nowadays.
Or either if you're so shy in front of camera, what I noticed, that you can create some written content and you can create something, hear your voice, and by creation that VA, created by AI, can help you to speak as you are a speaker in the video.
It is. There's another layer is called cloning. So remember, we're talking about moving forward. People are expecting hyper personalized personal brand. So how do we possibly do, hyper personalized? Is through clone. And nowadays the clone, of course, if there's certain technique of recording a clone to make a really good clone of you, me, that could, I wouldn't necessarily say it will completely replace you in public, but this can be used for internal usage, for training the team, or it could be your chatbot communicating with the customer on the, kind of interaction on your website and things like that. So that part can be taken care of. You'll be just like this. You wouldn't even be able to tell is actually a clone. So that is how people get to experience the person, because how is being fed into that clone is not a machine. It's being feeding the data of how it could be fitting to the way I talk. It will study my gesture. It will study my facial expression when I smile, when I say certain things. It will do the analysis of studying my movement. So the clone, when it respond on certain topic or certain words, it will trigger to have certain emotion. So that's why it become more like me. So that's kind of how advanced our clones are moving forward. We already seen there's very. I'm actually in the process of give myself an upgraded version. I have created my version of the clone in 2023, and then at the time, I wouldn't say the technology was that great. It was between sentences. You can still sense like 2 or 3 seconds pause. As you know, humans don't talk like that. You can totally sense that.
And I think that people and listeners can recognize it difference between a real human voice, as we are talking out as a human being, you and me, and then you can see a little bit different, like and still now,
Yes, I would say in about 3 to 6 months from now, actually, we are already seeing the model that coming out. Well, not coming out. It's already came out. Actually, you can't really tell it's clone anymore. Almost, I would say it's unless like you rewind it multiple times, that you can tell it's clone. I would say the technology with the cloning technology are pretty close to the point. It's very, very human-like. I would say very soon. We're just giving a few more months, then you will see. We'll be amazed how that can be done. So that's kind of how we've been seeing, just give your audience a little bit insight where the future is going.
In 2025, and when you mention personal branding, can you just explain or connect with professional brand? Just there are people who sometimes, I know that personal branding and people always wanted to connect you as a person for your brand, but also your brand is your brand. Sometimes you're a business owner, but your brand has got a different name, different, and different, like a logo with branding colors, whatever. And they know that you're a business owner, but how they can identify just to put in one place that brand, that logo, however, as a professional brand and personal. Maybe if you can help with us, just for our listeners who will listen to this episode, just to maybe they are in a stuck with that, or they just they wanted to know more about it. Either that I wanted to ask you today, just to as a kind of masterclass.
Yes, it's a great question. That's a very, very great question. That's actually one of the area, actually very, very first session that we teach our clients are exactly to distinguish between the personal brand in the company's brand. So that's why we call it company's brand, because you just like you said, it does including the company's logo, including every element about the company. So that's why I would say the way we build our clients' brand, we are taking it as more of a comprehensive kind of approach, because we know, when people, especially they're starting out, your name brand is not a household brand, which means unless you're Tony Robbins, you're Oprah Winfrey, that you're so well known internationally, most people will have to start with a personal brand to get themselves out there, to differentiate themselves from the market. But as we are establishing the personal brand, we usually recommend our coaches and the consultant, people, small business owner, their company brand will be very close to right after their personal brand. If you're talking about distance, this is when people are building the personal brand. This is the forefront. The company's brand, it will be right behind the personal brand, because the moment the coaches, course creator, or small business owner building their personal brand, people say, oh yeah, I love you, I like you, I love your energy or whatever, I love your story, I want to buy something from you. Guess what? That's the second question. What can you offer them to buy, right? And then that is what the company, the product, whatever, have to be supporting that personal brand. The reason why we always emphasize on building the personal brand first, if people don't like you, trust you, and just want to get to know you, what is the point to have a company's brand? Right? They will have to be able to like you first and to trust you,
Exactly.
to want to move forward, to see what you have to offer as a company. So that's why we always helping our businesses building those two brands back to back. But in the very beginning, we don't even mention about company's brand, just because we know when people are starting out, they just want to know, what is my first step? Don't tell me the step 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't care. Just give me the next step, the next step, the next step, because people can be easily overwhelmed if we are loading them up the full blueprint. But they still want to know, do you have the whole entire system for me? The moment we disclose there's a whole entire system, but now we're going to be laser focused on the first step, then they feel calm, and they feel certain they have something to looking forward to. They're being taken care of. And that's kind of how we've been training and coaching our clients that way. So because we know nowadays we're in the era, never lack of the information. It's just more of an implementation. How can they possibly know what is the next step? People are craving their own customized next step. And that's why we're helping our clients customize, highly customize in the AI consulting part of the business. So that's why we offer the 15 minutes AI automation request call, so we can really customize to their unique needs, because people want to customize, right? So that's what I'm saying. We actually offer that so people can have a quick access to us to gain the clarity exactly where they can start from here.
Oh, Athena, you explained it amazing. You explained it quite, so it's very clear. It's very for people listeners who wanted to know more about AI and using it for helping business and supporting business. And when you mentioned, you're so right, because and finally, if you said, okay, if you have your product, if you have your logo, but people wanted to know more about you as entrepreneur, who run that, who runs that business, and as you mentioned, so important, just to be so clear on that, by what you said, it's so important. First step is personal branding, and after that, let's say behind the scene, because people want to know about you more and more, because you're new in the market, or people just wanted to believe you, trust you, or however. And then when they know about you, after that, you say, okay, this is what I do, this is what I sell, this is what I produce. I'm coach, I'm consultant, I'm hairdresser, whoever. I
Yeah,
can
I
be.
mean, seriously, the reason why we are so emphasis on personal brand, even though it sounds so, well, some people think, well, I'm not here to do TikTok or YouTube or, just make myself famous. It's to me, personal brand, for some people might have a different approach because it all depends on people's intention, right? To me, is personal brand is the only brand is from the day you were born to the day you die. So, and then whatever your company's brand, your product, your services are the project you are working on along the way in this life journey. So that is the reason why I'm more focused on personal brand because I know if when I have that core belief, my value, my the way I show up to the world, if people, I want to, just like what I said about personal brand, I want people to attracted to me are like-minded people. I know not everybody's gonna like me. Some people probably just like, I don't like her hair. I don't even like her look. There's just certain things like, some people you're not gonna be able to please people. And that's exactly the reason why the quickest way for a business to, to have the raving fan, to have a loyal, highly paid customers, to have referral partners are, to me, my experience has been through personal brand because I'm able to attract the people just like me. It was so much easier to weed out those people that you probably later on you're not going to be finding happy to be working with anyway. So you might as well be yourself, build your brand. When you're working on the project, whatever the project you're working on, you already have raving fan waiting for you to buy from you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that because yeah, and we are unique in this world. So either that no one can just do imitate us, like to as you said, they're cloned by that you wanna, but people resonate with you. Sometimes there are different people who resonate with different points on yourself in terms of your voice or what you do or if they're either that, but we're not like to be actor and actress just to be in some on some stage and act and play, but also depends that we sometimes maybe there are people who are not too much good for some other people, but what they do is so attractable, it's so good for other people to resonate with that and solve their problems you know
Exactly. I mean, I notice that most of the people I attracted to are cross-cultural professionals that usually either English is their second language or they are also have been living in a different country. So they are more, they have more of international collaboration, things like that. So I did notice that's the type of people I attracted the most. And then, people like kind of say, okay, she's lighthearted, she's goofball, and she's kind of fun. To me, that is kind of how I work anyway. I want to, internally, I would say I'm more childlike, but doesn't mean in professionally, I still work. I'm a very serious person when it comes to business, but when it comes to, but I always like to infuse the fun into my work. So people might see, oh, she's kind of fun and playful and all that. So I wonder if she's serious in business. So of course, I'm dead serious about business when it comes to business, but we don't necessarily have to be serious all the time. See, just like personal brand, you have different dimension, and that's what I find people like about me, and that people love me. They love all the dimension of Athena, not just one
yeah,
business.
we are human being to the end of the
Yeah.
day, like all 24 hours we have in our life. And Athena, can you share with us about your academy also, like yeah, I know that you run your academy also.
Yes. Yeah. So we actually are turning our Launch Lab Academy to be a subscription model because a lot of our clients, they want to stay informed. As we know, AI are moving really fast, especially for business, the trend. So we are keeping our students informed what's coming, what to pay attention, because we are getting, when people need to pivot for the business direction, and this is usually the time to do so, especially in 2025, we'll see 80% of business are going to be fully implementing AI, and they will be hiring the professional to do it. So that's why we're getting people ready. We actually are reinventing within our own community as well, getting people ready, because this is the time for innovation.
And who don't, we need to start with that race, just to move forward, because if maybe we will late with that.
Well, it's never too late. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as long as people start, I mean, that's kind of a lot of time. I would say humans stop themselves is because the internal. That's why another things I love. Our community, we're really big on personal growth because most of us are starting with we're coming from Tony Robbins community. So we are having the personal growth as a foundation, even within our team. That's kind of where we build upon our business, personal growth first, business second. Because without internally that we are able to see the vision, to work on ourselves, we're not be able to see what is coming, because we'll be missing opportunity because the fear, doubt, or whatever, if it could take over, then even though we are same human being, some people can see the opportunity, some people see danger, right? They're all relevant. So that's kind of why, when we're building our community, that's why we're co-launch Lab Academy, is because we're an academy of keep launching. We're encouraging people making mistakes because we create a safe environment for people to make mistakes. So when they're going out there doing public speaking and talking to their client, they are ready. So we are technically like a family in a way within our community. So.
This is the best way to approach to people and to help them and support each other to grow. And I also know that you're a speaker as well, just like that you speak on many stages and conferences. Yeah. And what do you mostly speak? What are the topics do you speak from your brand, from your expertise, or have specific topic for specific events?
Yes, exciting too. Summits, I think it will be coming up. I think I will be one in February 1st. And there's actually, you know what? That's funny. One is in February 1st, another one February 2nd. 7th or 6th. Yeah, it's very close to one or the other. But yeah, they all have me talk about the AI power personal branding. And then on the basically the content creation, leveraging that, for their marketing and all that. And one is building the personal brand. How the business building a personal brand? Because a lot of time, you don't see a lot of big corporations are building their brand. I would say the one example, a couple of examples are building really good big personal brand would be like, Oprah Winfrey. She's definitely on the personal brand. Tony Robbins all building his business personal brand, and then you'll see Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Elon Musk, Tesla, right? They all, even though they are building their personal brand, their company's brand are right behind it. So those are the model that we have been seeing, and then we're just gonna see more and more on that. And that's why people are wanting to know how they can learn to build their personal brand using the AI to help them saving their time in this part of the process.
And you mentioned consultants, coaches, course creators, and it's different stages. It doesn't matter how they are, what are the ages, or how they
good question. You always ask the question. Yeah,
because what I'm telling you, because in terms of audience who wanted to connect with you, and we will put all those information, and you can just repeat your website and how audience can connect with you, or maybe to give them some like a freebie or whatever, or free consultation or whatever maybe, and yeah, so that they can come to you, and especially to know more about personal branding, which is so important for ourselves and our business.
Very, very, very good question. So you're talking about the stages of the business. Exactly. So I would say the people that come to us at this current stage, when they are thinking about using the AI into their business, are not necessarily the complete startup. I would say, or at least they have some idea of, they know this is the skill they want to develop. So the type of clients we usually work with are people already using the AI tools, and they are playing the different type of tools, but they don't know how to integrate them. They don't know how to connecting the dots. How do you do a comprehensive, solution? This is where we come in to help out. So that is, I would say that is kind of the type of ideal client for us, even though it is coaches, consultants, small business owners. They want to see, okay, now we play enough AI tools, but just exactly how can I integrate it to make it, streamline. We want streamline. So those are the type of the clients that we can help the most. So I would say if your audience happen to fall in this category, they will be a perfect time to accelerate their business at the level they're at.
It starts in 2025, in January.
Yes,
2025.
we have seen saving the physical therapy on the day-to-day, operational side. Just the administration transfer data from one platform to the other. Just that particular action, we saved them about 41,000 a year. If you calculate that time he can save up to do the business, see the client, instead of copy, paste, and transfer all those data, we can just streamline that process, automate it. That instead of taking hours to transfer data, now it's just split of a second. It doesn't even require the person to do the work anymore. It could be that fast now. And that's what we're talking about, saving the time when we are able to using the automation or AI integration to connecting all the dots. So human are not, because the human part of it would be seeing the clients, kind of what we're doing here, networking, talking, doing the podcast, because this particular part, the clone, the AI cannot replace. That is the reason why as we moving forward in 2025, moving forward, it will be a really clear differentiate role between AI agent and the human, right? Human do this, AI do the mundane, repetitive work. So that is kind of how you'll see it, the difference.
Leave AI to do it behind the scene, and
It's like
that
a virtual assistant, yeah.
takes and works 24 hours, automation, and you don't care about, that all those things will be finished at a time, right time, and clients will be satisfied.
Yeah, and then AI don't argue. They just follow what you give it to them. Talking about the turnover
and doesn't have high voice
I mean, seriously, that's kind of how we start seeing the company slowing down on hiring the staff, because the if you're doing the hiring people, you got to train them 3 months, 6 months to have them up to speed so they can take on the task, right? But now companies are slowing down on even hiring. They want to train their staff on how to use AI to increase their productivity, because it takes the company so much money to train a person, and only to see them quit 6 months, a year after, right? And that is the waste of money for a company.
And your team also works with companies. So for all business owners who run companies, just connect with Athena. She can help you globally, just to train your staff how to use it AI and can have more productivity and save time.
Exactly. Streamline their operation and increase their productivity. So when they increase their productivity, so did their profitability. And that is the goal for pretty much all the organization that we will be helping, more and more this year.
Yeah, and this is intention for all people to have much more time for their kids, for their family, to have a time for holidays, to you can go to holiday, don't care about.
Exactly. We are human being. We're
Yeah,
not human doing. Lead the being to the human and let the doing given to AI, right?
yeah. Adina, it was really, really special episode today, and I'm so excited having you as my special guest speaker. And you explain, and I have many questions. I will have many other questions, but maybe we can do it again in our new episode this year. And also, how can connect with you. Can you share with us your website and what is the best way on social media to connect with
So
you?
you'll
And
see Christina will put in this here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
afterwards,
yeah. I will
the
put all
website.
those. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And then, of course, I also want to offer your audience that same book, the free complimentary book link with 15 minutes with me. And then we're just having conversation. I'm not there to sell your customer, your client anything or your audience anything.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
just there to have a conversation. And then, if nothing happened, providing the clarity, have them walk away to have a sense of what the next step is. And that would be a mission accomplished for me.
But audience can connect with you on LinkedIn, Athena Todd,
Mhm. Yes.
ATETO. I did it, but anyway. So I will put all those to spell out sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Let's not go.
anyway, you're on Instagram as well, on LinkedIn, Facebook, and also you have your website. How did you say? Academy for just Academy
I'll just
Lab.
provide, shall we?
Yeah.
You're gonna butcher it.
Yeah, I will put it, but maybe there are people who wanted to listen it sometimes. It's easier for them than to read. I
Well,
wanted
maybe
to
the next
help my
time with a
audience. Yeah, I will
QR
put,
code.
yeah,
Maybe next time.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will put all those information. Athena, thank you so much for your time today. It was such a pleasure having you, and wish you a lot of success in 2025 with your clients and helping more and more people. And see you very soon again in here
Yes,
in my podcast. Thank you so
that's
much,
right.
and have a
Thank you,
lovely.
Christina.
Thank you, Athena. Have a lovely day.
You too. Are we done recording?